Ooh. How are things? How are things? Paint is up. Yeah, paint. We're not going to do anything too creative with paint. All right. We're not. The real reason that's up is so we can do the dots. Why isn't this opening? Bro, I clicked on this. I clicked on this. All right. Well, File Pilot's failing us. Wish he would release the new version. Okay. What am I looking at here? We sort of did most of these areas. I could look at this and then maybe we could turn our attention to the west. We're trying to take all these hollow dotses and make them into solid dotses. We're ignoring this one. I don't have an idea for that screen right now. I don't have an idea for that screen right now. Maybe they'll just stay how they are. That we could ship the game like that. It would be acceptable. But I just don't want to try to be super creative today. I want to be incrementally creative. I want to look at things we have, like we were doing last night, and just be like, hey, you know, can we make it a little better before before we deliver that value to the people? That's how we do it. We don't just slop all over the internet. We work hard to make things good. Okay, so this area, this part I'm fine with. This little green shape that goes up through here. This is like one way that you can pass through this screen. And that one is fine. What's in question is really this plus this. Like, I guess we evaluate these as a unit and this. Um, Maybe it's not exactly as a unit because most of this has nothing to do. Well, okay. Okay. This is one thing we could do is try to isolate this from this more, except that doesn't totally work. I'll show you in a second, but this part here depends on the screen boundary. We're doing a postmodern Steven sausage roll thing here. So maybe that, but this, okay, this actually could be back on this screen for all I know or care, I guess. Because it doesn't necessarily. One reason to keep this on this screen is there's already a gem powering that screen. Oh, no, we have to keep this on the screen because this is the promise zone. We can't put promise zone over here. All right, well, we're establishing the parameters. Anyway, the way that I would get in here is around here. So we can just go look as if we were not the authors of the game and we were just exploring. Let me get some water. My water beeper beeped. Okay. Got some water. Are the dot colors just different sessions? Yeah, it's just I would sort of tell the art team, hey, I did some more and it's a new color now. Although I did report today several sections of these magenta dots, and we're gonna stay on magenta because we can't go through multiple colors in a day. That would just be crazy. Crazy. All right. So we come in here. I don't know why my prompts are turning black. Let me send an email about that. Actually, prompts are turning black on all GPUs, so this seems new and unrelated to water, probably. Maybe. Okay. I forgot to check something in from my laptop. That's getting checked in. Okay. Okay. So, everybody wants their control prompts to be black for some reason. That's just how it is. So, this level is this one. So, this level is about how you can only use a mirror when you're on the same screen. All right. It's a very good looking level, I think. Okay. So, and then that leads into this, which is super mirror situation. Okay. And then we have overworld puzzle involving mirror situation. And here's the thing. The trick, oh, well, we get our score here. The gimmick is I would like to go down to the bottom there. And I can't really quite reach. Okay. Now, if I went one more to the right, I would reach, but I'm not on the same screen as the mirror anymore, and that's sad. So, in order to reach, I have to do this. Right? I got to put the lotion in the basket. And then I can get down there. It's a simple puzzle, but it's reinforcing what you did in the levels. Okay. So, that's fine. And how do I feel about this space apportionment here? How do I feel about various things? Do we need this wall? Not necessarily, but it's maybe fine. Would we rather line it up with the purple beam? Maybe. Maybe. Like this might look less messy if we drag the purple beam left by one, which is fine because this is still on this screen, right? So if we did the following, boom. Okay, and then this would be like, actually, this is a good point. Because we're crossing the world boundary over into Mirrorland here, these would actually be a different... It's hard to say. These levels don't have walls. Oh, come on, man. The fuck? Oh. Is that because I... The hell? There's a translucent shadow entity in meta mirror block v2 that is obviously messed up and weird. Not sure what to do about this. Okay. Okay. So right. I think we should emphasize the boundary difference. Not just with this, also with this. I don't know. Like a blue gray. I never want to do too much blue because it's kind of like the water. Oh, yellow, gold brick. That's kind of ugly, but you know. Like I want a very hard cut here. Okay. Um, so there's other things like this wall could be thinner, but then maybe it matches this double up here. This could be more organic. Do we want it to be more organic? I mean, those are some pretty inorganic islands. So maybe not. Those are more organic. I mean, so I'll show you what the trick here is, right? So there's two places I want to get to. I want to get to that little island with the two levels. And once I get down here, I can walk down here and I can be like, oh, if only I could get to that island. Now, interestingly, I'm distracted by this island on the left, you see. And that's new. So this island on the left, I just expanded out. To make that area better. So I think what I'm going to do is extend this wall so that there's really no... You actually probably could have got maybe to here. So we just don't want to distract people with thinking they're supposed to be trying to do that or whatever. You wouldn't have been able to do anything unless you'd gotten through this sequence already, but like sort of you want to keep people's focus on the interesting things in the game and not like spammy weird things that don't lead anywhere good. Okay, so one thing we could do, remember when you're a kid and you get some graph paper and you draw the lines between the vertices and you make a little thing? Dude, I did that all the time. Prepared me for a career in video games. We could do that. I'm not sure that I care about that. That seems weird, and the space is not used for anything. So we could just do something mellow like that, which just makes it a little organic. Mildly, slightly. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, so I got to get here and I got to get here. And sort of the way that we do those is basically similar. It's just different levels of how hard is it. So let's run back. Well, let me I want to at least be playing our update here so we can see how it feels. Oh, look at that color split. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay. So I come back here. I'm going to reset. And oh, you know what? I got to do this first. Sorry. I do this. And then I get behind this guy, push him in the water. Boom. And then I come back here and then I reset this. And then, so I think this doesn't quite work by default. Maybe it does. It does. So I don't need the rock for this one. I do these two. I might need the rock for the other one. I hope I do. If I don't, then that might be something to tweak. All right. So if I'm standing here, I'm essentially drawing a diagonal, right? Actually, I can just go here. Boom. So it would be better to involve the rock in some way, but I don't know what would be good thereabouts. Anyway, from here, I can connect back. That part's fine. Maybe these squares are unnecessary. So now that you have this Q zone, okay, what's that? Oh, yeah. It's like, please do those. If we had done those, we could get through here and do the big level. Okay, so all right. So we don't really need those top two squares. So that could be more rectangular platformy. And well, let's see if we use the block. What does that mean in terms of where I get? It pushes me left in terms of where I get, right? So we could have a little passageway along the left. Or no, So the problem is so as I walk out, I basically extend this diagonal, right? So the problem is using this rock to go further in that direction is making the path shorter. But if this were a ocean hole right here where I'm standing, and if that were the only landing point, then you would need to use the rock. See what I'm saying? Okay, imagine this were a little ocean hole that we have to avoid. That complicates the earlier thing, but you're going to want the mirror, to put the mirror down here anyway, so this doesn't really matter. This is just a very sus ocean hole. We could double sus. Double sus. And then where did we say is the landing point? When the rover is at the maximum, it's down there. So that's really far, actually, which is pretty good. I think it was this square. So that is our landing spot. Whoops. And then this comes out from here. And then we have some levels. All right. Like this. And then there's this. See, sometimes when you elaborate on ideas, they take up more of the screen anyway, and then everything is fine. And then this doesn't have to be so clipped. This had to be kind of clipped instead of being a full, beautiful island. Oh, we actually want this to be. Like that. That's pretty good. And then all this goes away, right? I like this better. Here, let's just... Wait, do we need that square? This is a little bit weird because it doesn't line up, but I think you make it down there, right? Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're here, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're here, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's gotta go there. All right, but that's fine. That's actually fine. Because it's a point of interest. Let's try this out. I like this better. What's down here? Oh, that level. Nice. Okay. We've got things. Okay. Let's try this. Maybe send the rock first. You can't send the rock. That's not how it works. There is no sendable rock. Actually, there could there could be a sendable rock, actually, but there isn't. That would dilute this puzzle as well. All right. So we're gonna go around here. We're going down here. We're like, oh, look at that. Look at that sus landing spot. So we push this guy in. We could take him all the way across. All right. We reset. And then we're going to do this. Boom. And then hopefully that'll put me in the right place. The one, the only, the correct place. Ding. Never mind the messed up mirror beam when I teleport. That'll get fixed eventually. All right. I want this to be a different color. We don't exactly care what color. Shouldn't be mega different. All right. And then we could just have these be just a different color. I'm I'm kind of okay with that. I'm kind of okay with that. And then, okay, so the point of this, though, right, is if I had not put the rock in the water, if I did not put the lotion in the basket, here's what would happen. I could get to this middle island. That's the easy one. But when I try to go here, nope, can't make it. Can't make it. Okay, I definitely like that better. Do I necessarily think that little two splotch island is in a good place? It certainly seems like it could go left. Like I would like the composition of the scene better if that were to the left. We could move it left by one very easily. And then it requires this rock, right? Because otherwise we miss. So then you use the rock for all three, and that's good. Unless there's some other way to get to this. We also could move it north or something, but first let's just look at this. All right. Oh no. Okay. So we do this. We're just going to miss. We miss. And then we're like, oh, I got to get closer. Right? Now the problem here is if I want to move this north, it has to move to the right. But if I want to, is this centerable? How many squares have we got? 5, 4. So if I move it one left, it's 4 and then 5. We have the curse of the even number of squares. I mean, it could be vertical, right? Could be like this. Doesn't that look better? I mean, this is still a little weird, but again, this is like a location of interest, so... I drowned. I tried to go where I was not welcome, right? So if I'm here, I get there. If I'm there, I miss. Yeah, I like that better. The scene does still feel a little bit lopsided, but this is made necessary by all the things we are doing. You think if I am one to the left of where I put the rock, I still end up on the lower section. Let's see. So you are saying if I'm here, we'll put the rock there anyway. But you're saying if I'm standing here, I could still get down there. No. And the reason is because the guy gets stopped by that tab there. Does the island need to be just the 2 tiles? It could be bigger, but there's no point of making it bigger if it's just a small target to hit. For the central visual aspect, well, I mean, we could expand it to the left. The thing is, we're south of that little arrow-shaped piece of land to the north of us. So, like, there's a lot going on here. Will we get in-game lore for who built all the puzzles? I will just say now that that is possible. Yes, that could be a thing that happens. Okay. I feel pretty good about these changes. Who knows? I might have broke something. It is not pleasingly centered, but you can't always do that. Let's try it though. Like, this is 7, this is 5. So like to center, we would have to trim back to this or move this over, which we could do. The thing is, if we move this over, this landing point moves over too, which means wait, maybe we don't need a bridge if we do that. No, we do. Okay, hold on. No, we don't, because we'll land on this. That might be better. Let's see. I mean, there's a big beefy wall on the left, but that's video games. Sometimes you got to have a big beefy wall. That's what the people want. Does that look better? It actually does look better. Okay, the thing is we're not actually gonna... I was wrong about not needing the thing because we're only going to be able to get to like down here or something. Let's see. Uh-oh. There's no resetter for the dude, so he's stuck forever. RIP. Casualties of game development. All right. Oh, wait, we could... No, he'll never be in the right place. Start a new campaign. Exit to Overworld. Go here. Boom. All right, so we're trying out our hypothetical thing. I don't know if I like making it narrower, even though it's more symmetric. And the reason I don't necessarily like it, although it is cute that when I do this thing, the place that I push the block into is like kind of making the pattern symmetry. You know what I'm saying? Sort of. Like if you imagine this going down. I don't know. Okay, this is a more pleasing shape. Let's see how it feels in terms of how things work. So this part's all the same. Okay, so that's the same. And hitting the middle island, I believe, is the same as well. And we're just going to have to calibrate the lower screen. And we're just going to see, do we like it? But this is just a nicer shape. It's amazing how much better you can make shapes sometimes. You know? Yeah, so we get on there. I kind of want to flip the order of the stars so that you get on the non-active one and then you move a square. Let's do that before we forget. Okay. And then we're going to do this part. And we won't hit the bottom island yet, but we're going to see. We're going to see where we go with it. Shoot. Oh no. I didn't go down there. Okay, so we go to there. So we would need a little bridge flobbler, but it also means we could move our platforms north a little bit. We could even have that be that you hit the corner of the platform, right? And then we don't need a bridge flobbler. Let's try that. Let's try no bridge flobbler. The bridge flobbler, there's a good thing about it, which is that it's a conspicuous target where the game is telling you, hey, you're trying to hit this conspicuous target, right? And that's communication between the game and the player, and that can be very good in all these things. But, oh, I did save. All right. All right, so if I go here, I end up here. And let's see what that looks like on the Q map, right? And I just go in more. Like if I try to be in here, we're just not going to reach anything, right? And if I'm out here, I could barely hit the square. Maybe that's good, or maybe we should have a bridge. I don't know. This is like nice and kind of centered though. Like I like this positioning for these platforms. So I think this is better. What do you guys think? Is it more aesthetically pleasing? Now we have 5 on each side. And then there's this gap, of course, but that has to be there. So we have 5. And then, so this now has a purpose. Before, this was just random organicness, but this is like reflecting this. See that? And this is the mirror, and the rock place is reflecting this. And if we're going to be really serious, we would do that. And this is the mirror area, so being symmetric is like pretty good. It's like on theme. If you guys know what that is. If they still teach what that is in school. So like that's not exactly symmetric, but it's about it. It's symmetric where the differences are very meaningful to gameplay. The symmetry breaking is very meaningful to gameplay. Is there any point in asking for a beta key if you just program C++ in your free time? Well, we only want to give beta keys to people who are really going to use the language in depth. Move it down 1 and make 1 square stick out. You mean like here? You mean like do this, but move it down 1? Nah, I'm going to just try it as it is. The thing is, I didn't like the bridge flobler when I put it in there. Even though I like it in principle, like as an idea, like, oh, it's a conspicuous landing point. When I looked at the geometry, I didn't like it. I just don't know what to say about that. How do I, oh, I got to do this. So that is this and this. Giving them something to aim for feels better. I don't know. Does it? Or is it like, oh, I almost like kind of exploited the game and got somewhere tricky? I don't know. Like there's something very precise about we place this so that exactly this one corner catches you. I just like this better right now for whatever reason. All right, I'm going to go into high security mode. And send an email. in the mirrors in promised area, I just full dotted these screens, but you guys can double check. Boom. Okay, however, before I push save on that, I want to take the W on these changes so that other people can play them if they happen to be awake. Commit to the bits. Okay. Boom. There we go. I will go hit send on the email. Boom. Okay. Dude, when I send Gmail messages that have images in them, it reloads the fucking image like 5 times after I send the email. Like, what is it doing? It's so aggravating. And it doesn't redisplay it in place. It just like disappears and reloads and disappears and reloads. Okay. What about this? We do this. We get on the bus, Gus. Okay. Now, is this good that these are on the next screen down? Maybe not. Maybe I want all of this, because these are sort of the prerequisites for all these other puzzles. Maybe I want all this to happen 1 north, which means I want the beam to be 1 north. Right? Which it could be. Let's try moving all this stuff. Because it's kind of uncomfortable having too much at the bottom there. That's sort of a style note. So let's just imagine that we moved all of this north. Oh, we had a double gate fence. Move all that north by 1. Could move this north by 1 as well. We could move other stuff too. Positions of some of these other things are not too sensitive. So now this distance, this is like 4 to here and it's 4 to there, creeps into 3 there and creeps into 3 there. So that's kind of symmetric. It's a little weird how this is offset from this, but it's 3 versus 2. It's not really going to line up no matter what. We could do that and then have this be like there, right? With this there. We could do that. That looks neat, honestly, but we don't exactly know if we can do that yet, because for this to work, this guy has to be up here. Okay, which means I mean, maybe this is like this. So the problem with this is you could push this guy in the water if we don't block him some other way. I don't know if I want to put a wall. I mean, putting a wall there then gets rid of our thing we were talking about, but that definitely, it could work. So we could go like this. Oh, dude. Living on the edge. Okay, so this could be just like this. Okay. So you show up, you're over here. Bro, just deal with it, bro. You're like trying to get in there. Are we using Parsec for the game testers? For one of the testers we are, and the thing is, when I was figuring it out, there's like a paid version and a free version, and I was like, I don't know if we're going to use this, so I'm just going to try the free version. And that's working okay, but I haven't tried the paid version yet, but I would recommend trying that because if you do the free version, you know, your playtester is going to be like, it's going to get Parsec guarded, right? And like, we sent a login verification to your email address, right? And then you have to, yeah, it's a pain. So the reason I haven't switched to paid is now I don't want to disrupt this playtest in the middle, and I don't know what that's going to do, what it's going to change in terms of how people log in and whatever. So I'm going to wait till after. Okay. So do we like this? Oh, well, okay. What else would happen here? We would have this. And right now, this comes from those guys, right? So instead, we can do that. Bloopy bloop. All right. Anytime that you can bloop de bloop is not such a bad time. Okay, however, we're still going to die unless we do that. How did this look before? Yeah, it's like, oh, these guys stuck out by one additional. Like that, and then we have this hallway. Is this also? Yeah, so we could just put that there. Right? And that way you don't violate this fog of war till after you've solved these, which is a thing that we're trying to be better about. Okay. So I did the mirror. I got down here. I'm trying to go, I can't. Now I can. Then I solve the bloop-de-bloops. And now that melts and I can clear the fog of war. Okay, wait. That shouldn't let you in, though. We should double lock this. So this should not clear the fog of war for me. Unless this also does, right? Okay. Okay, so that's a screen I can do, but we're thinking about this screen right now. This screen lets me reset a mirror. It also lets me push this guy. And having pushed that guy, oh, that's the other reason I wanted that island to go out that far, is to block some stuff. Okay. So here, this lets me get back to where we came in, right here, right? And it lets me get to the big dude, who I will say is off center to the right relative to the whole body of water, but by one tile, which isn't great. And I'm not sure. So if we move him left, we have to move this dock with this guy left, and then we have to add more down there. I'm not sure I want to do any of these things. And then this mirror we put here. Now, if we decide to be annoying, we could do this, right? And then we could go back here, and then we could go here, and we could try to do that, and that's stuck. But of course, I can free it by doing this. The overworld in this game gives some retro exploration vibes. So, one of my favorite games on the Commodore 64, and this is not a very well known game, was called Fort Apocalypse. Did any of you guys ever play that? And it was like a helicopter exploration game. It was kind of wacky, but it was like this: explore this big map, etc. We should maybe play that on MAME at some point. It'll be unplayable by modern standards, but you know. And then the other game was like Pitfall 2, which, if you remember Pitfall, it was a bunch of little one-off screens. But Pitfall 2 made those into like a giant world that was explorable. They probably have it on Internet Archive. Wait, really? Can you just like do that now? It'll just like MAME it up in your browser? We've been able to play Metroid. Okay, we'll try that in a minute. As soon as we're done. I'm starting to get a little tired. Uh, and this was just a bonus. So um, maybe I'm done. I mean, what? So the only thing that I'm noticing here is this mirror and the spawn point are ugly and not related to anything. We could put them here to center them relative to that platform. We could move the platform up and move this down one. The thing is, I don't want to move it down too far because I want it to be a thing that you do to do that, right? I want that to be motivational. Let's try this. We're going to try leaving this alleyway, the water alleyway. I'm sure there's a name for a water alleyway in Venice, Italy. We're going to leave that. And then these are just going to come down here. So that's all centered in some kind of nice way, kind of. Is that actually the screen center? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Yeah, the big level's exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's off to the left, but we don't. I mean, we could expand to the right a little bit. I guess that's a thing. The problem is I don't want to, because I don't want to make this passageway straighter. Because like if you can even push this mirror onto the next screen, that's sus. But we could theoretically eat away at some of this and go for. But like we can't really like unless we make this a long dock or something. Make it into a long duck dong. Um, Maybe it doesn't make sense. All right. I'm going to also send an email about this one. We'll go ahead and dot it. But we'll say patch is welcome. That's this one. Commit. High security mode. Wait, did I have that on the whole time, dude? Okay. This one as well. I did some small cleanups on it, but if anyone has other ideas, further ideas. We could shift some of that passageway going to Crystal Rovers to the right a bit and widen this screen, but that but the middle island has to stay too offshore, too off the right shore unless we make the tab. You push the river not longer, etc., etc. Okay. Anyway, we made some good improvements on that. I feel like there's more to do with that one. All right, we're coming out of high security mode. Okay. Found Fort Apocalypse on a menu. Okay, hold on. Hold on, we got to take our W. Overworld. Revision. Let's make triple sure this is saved. Dude, we got so many magenta dots. So many magenta dots. All right. Okay. Let's see if we can still manual for inputs. F7 to begin game. All right, dude, I don't know if I'm going to be able to play this like at all. Let's see. Fort Apocalypse. I'm clicking full screen, please. The web doesn't work. We'll do this. Downloading game metadata. Launching emulator. Maybe I had to do that first. All right. Here we go, dudes. Okay. I guess spacebar pauses. What are my controls? Like, how baller is that? That they start the game with you running out of fuel so that you learn about fuel. Like, that's how good we were at game design in 1982. Numpad. I don't have a numpad, dude. Claimed sound is off. That is clearly not true. Internet Archive is not very good at programming. Now I can't control the scale. All right, you know what? We'll mess around with this some other day when we're not tired, but I totally want to play this game again. You guys could play it in the meantime. I'm going to be gone for a week, by the way. You guys can play Fort Apocalypse because I know there's no big game coming out this weekend that you would play instead. You can play Fort Apocalypse and let me know if you think it's good. Arc Raiders open. Wait, is it open beta again? It's not the actual release? I thought it was the release. When is the game coming out? So we got 21 here. We got King Queen. Got Red 2, 4, but 3's buried. We got 14, 15. We got 1 Arcana, 2 Arcana. We don't have a lot to go on here. I'm not seeing like a golden road. Oh, we got 4, 5, 6 gold. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6 gold. So I think we're going to do this. And 13, 14, 15. So we're going to stack on the 6. Oh, 12, 13, 14, 15. Why didn't I see that when I was talking about what I see? All right, and then 17, 18 can go. Do we want red 6? Not really. Do we want red queen? Not really. Maybe. The release is the 30th. Okay. So there's a couple weeks of beta. And then it is real. Is it going to be like a limited amount of content during the beta? I assume so, right? And then during the actual launch, you get the good maps. That's how I would do it. Server tested just this weekend. Okay, I don't mind being gone this weekend then, if it's not even the launch. $21. Red 4. We need some cards to come off. So if we put 15 on the 14, we have 2 open. And then one can go on that too, and then king can go on the blue queen. And so maybe we throw the jack in the hole there. And then if we get green 10, which requires gold jack, which is way down here, which kind of sucks. So we throw jack in the hole. He's not coming back. Or green queen, which we're also not really going to get. Hope I have some safe travels. Me too. Me too. I am just going to the San Francisco area so I can make fun of vibe coders for a few days. So we also have 9 green, 8 green, right? We kind of have jack 10, 9, 8 almost. Okay, you know what? If I put 9 on the 8, 10 in the hole for now. Three up for a second. And we could go 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, and then 3 back down. So, so we'd have red 3, blue 10, taking our slots, which is not great. Oh, but we would have red 4 exposed anyway. So let's do that one. We don't even need to put it up. So this is a little bit not, I don't know. It's fine. So we can get 2, 3, 4 by putting the king in, right? Not even one spoopy game all month. I mean, the video game industry ain't like it used to be. Like, remember when they announced Splatoon for the first time? And it was like a teaser? And everyone was like, oh my God, this is the greatest game ever made. It's not like that these days, you know? It's still so scrambled. Don't have any one beggars right now. It's tragic. Blue 9, 8 on 10. That's true. That is a valid maneuver. Now we can do this. Right? Then we can do this. Mm-hmm. 7 red, that's way down here. 3 gold, that's right there. Hyped for Travelers next month. What is that? Okay. Let's flip this over here. Could have done this a while ago. Easy clap. There we go. Easy clap, everybody. I'm going to bed. Hope you have a good night. And I'll see you all later.